fancy intro music. Yeah! Woohoo! Hey there, Capsulers. Welcome back to another Eve Echoes University video where today I'm actually going to talk a little bit about high sec, low sec, and null sec, specifically low sec versus null sec for newer players. Because there are a lot of you out there wondering how far into space should I really go? And to be fair, there's a lot of crap out there that makes you understandably cautious, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, if you look at a lot of the drama that goes around on the Reddit and the Discord and Facebook, you're probably going, well, maybe it's not for me. But let me tell you that there's some advantages to flying in, whether you be in low sec or null sec versus high sec. And I want to talk about it using a few different things, including the ships that I'm currently sitting on top of in a null sec base. So you see I've got my Stabber fleet, current fitting, just go ahead and show it. And I'm showing this to show, just kind of what I run. This is just a generic defense fleet type of Stabber. Whether for like something like a doctrine. I put a point on it just because we happen to be trying to lock something down in PvP. And I said, to put it this way, we did this because we jumped a mining fleet that had a small defense force. We ended up getting 5 of the 15 ships and they all flew off. And so I had 1 point on there to catch something. This is not a very expensive ship, because the first thing people worry about is heading down into here, especially with the interdiction bubbles and things like that, is, well, I'm not going to survive. Well, this is my go-to ship for just regular flying around. Now, this fit is slightly expensive because I'm running C-type medium strikes. You can see that's 5 of those. Each one of those currently running for a beautiful $4.5 million. And you'll see that I'm running a Mark 7 warp disruptor. I've got a interruptive and then a predator stasis web of fire. So I've got some expensive gear, not terribly expensive, and then really bad rigs, because it's a throwaway ship. So the first thing is I can't venture down there because of the price of how much it costs to get into null sec. Well, to do that, I really feel like I got to hit on what you can get in null sec if you start actually flying here regularly. So you have what's called dead space anomalies. You have Inquisitor anomalies and Scout anomalies. You've probably seen the Inquisitors and the Scout anomalies in high sec if you've been flying around. And those will drop off those blueprints that you can use, and they'll drop off drones. You can see I've actually got a few of those down here. I believe I still have a few of them. You see, I've got a bunch of stuff that I need to build. But for example, here's, like, I'm sitting on top of 51 Mark III, and I've got these from doing high-sec Inquisitors and high-sec Scouts. You'll pick up things like this. And you see, it's a Mark III drone. Not really that important. It's a small. It may sell for really, really cheap. But this is the type of stuff that you can pick up in high-sec by going through and doing your normal ratting and picking on the Inquisitors. But you'll also find is there's better things that you can pick up. For example, I picked this one up from a tier 9 Scout, I think, Angel Scout in null sec. I picked it up last night. So this helps me build 10 Mark 7 shield group boosters. Now, this is very important for things, for the Guardian ships that are out there, and they're not terribly expensive, but the fact that I can build 10 of them to keep my Guardians equipped is very, very useful. But let's move on to something that's, say, more important. Let's say like the dead space anomalies that you can run into down here are going to help you get things like this. Now, I got this from a level 6 dead space anomaly that you can run really, if you're in a very nicely fitted Cinnable, you can maybe solo it, but a group of stabbers can run this, kill it with the proper tactics, and then look how much this one unit's going to run you. This one unit's 150 million. We got 4 of these when we did this tier 6 dead space. So the potential money to be made in dead space or in null sec far exceeds what you can make in high sec. Now you can still make money in low sec, and I feel like I got to stress that point because there is a transition, man, and most of this game is still sitting up in high sec. And that's fine, but sitting in high sec means you're going to be limited to picking up stuff like this. And your first question to me is going to be, okay, what's the real difference between a Mark V, stasis web of fire and what you can get down in null sec? Cool. Let me show you through the fittings menu. So you saw that Mark V, what it did. Now look at this Predator. So a 14.8 kilometer range compared to an 11 kilometer range, so further reach. You'll see the flight adjustment is 61%, but if we want to click this, we can click on the Mark V. And then we can see that the Mark V is a 51. So we're slowing down 10% more. We're reaching past, like, 25% further reach in terms of how far we can actually reach out and touch ships. And that's just an example of equipment that you can pick up here. The important thing about Null Sec is where you can solo in high sec and live comfortably in high sec by yourself, that becomes less optimal as you get into Null Sec and even Low Sec. Being in a good group is paramount. I mean, Orp, my alliance, has now grown to 2 alliances, and I have 2 corporations, Reavers and Insane Clown Pirate Posse, ICPP. I'm still a child, apparently. Yeah, we have 2 corps. If you're looking for a corporation, come join us and you'll do stuff like this with us. But you can still get this type of money in Low Sec and working towards it. Remember, Low Sec has some benefits, because what you're going to find in Low Sec, and just to reiterate for those that don't know, if you hit your star map, anything that is yellow is going to be Low Sec. Low Sec is 0.0 to 0.4. High Sec is 0.5 to 1. So if we go into Molden Heath, which is the area you've seen me fly around a lot, you'll see, how about this one? Let's look at Orion. See, Orion's a 0.8. That's a high sec system. It means nobody can attack you. You can mine to your heart's content. Nobody's picking up your boxes. 100% safe. But then look at over here like Scarcon, which is 0.0. That means that you can still get killed at the stations, because there's guns at the stations. You have to watch out for the gates. But you can be attacked in anomalies. You can be attacked doing mining. But you'll also have a lot higher bases here. So you can level these bases up and get better rewards, better loot, and better kills. I mean, when I started off, I was using my Dramil and stuff in Low Sec, because as a newer player, there is that trepidation of going into Null Sec. But the key to having success in Null Sec is simply getting into groups and also finding out what you can do profitability-wise. For example, y'all know that I do not mine. I don't. That's not my game. However, if you're going to Null Sec mine, especially solo, I'll show you what you do. You go in here. You'll go ahead and get your industrial ship, and I'm going to focus on not the transport ships. So let's focus on the Retriever. So we know the Retriever is cheaper now than it used to be. You can pick one up cheaper than this if you're looking at the Discord or you're looking at a good deal in Facebook. But let's say you buy this Retriever. You know the first thing that you need to throw on this thing? First thing? I'm expecting you to actually answer me as you're watching this video. Yeah, don't ask me. It doesn't make sense. But the first thing you should actually throw on is, I thought I had it. There it is. Cloaking device. Yes, believe it or not, a cloaking device. Because if you're a solo miner in Null Sec, put a cloaking device on, and what you want to be doing is watching the number of ships coming into your system. You see that number come up by 2 or 3? Probably not somebody passing through. Pop that cloak. Wait a couple minutes. Make sure you're fine. Uncloak, get back to mining. Putting this on that with your Aurora Warp Core stabilizers, which I don't know if I actually brought it. Yeah, I've got a couple here. So putting your cloak and then 2 of these bad boys on there, Aurora Warp Core stabilizers, and then you can also run things like your, I don't have any on me, I don't believe, inertial stabilizers, which help you navigate quicker, turn to where you need to go and warp in. Running things like this will help you get out quicker, but you can be Retriever in Null Sec and make tons of money because of the ores that you're mining are, more accessible, more profitable, even if you're not a pirate. So the pirating of me, which I'm going to do the ratting and PvP, can be very profitable. Sadly, since I only PvP in groups, my kill logs are dreadfully bare. But like, look at this Daredevil. Got a 1 billion kill Daredevil almost a week ago now. Oh gosh, that's sad. But you see the all-around damage control, the Senti C-type small, the Senti C-type armor repair, the C-type railguns that we picked up, the small energy, and here's the Predator stasis webifier. This is where I got my Predator, I think, or I got another one. You see, that's a $45 million webifier. Getting that and fighting in these areas, and that one was up in Low Sec. See, that's a Low Sec kill. But we run into these all the time. Today, you'll see that I have 3 capsule kills. Well, that's what I was just telling you about, how we had the 15 fleet, 15 members that we jumped in on, and then we came and popped them. And I ended up clearing out the pods. I potted them. So shout out AOP. Y'all did not have a good day today. Pirates, give you a shout out. But anyway, the profitability of moving into Low Sec and Null Sec is there if you know what to look for. And the only thing I can really advise past that is if you need help, Well, join my Discord, because even if you're not part of my corporation, we help you out. And also join my corporation, both of them, or any of my alliance. We're more than happy to help you out, to teach you pirating, to teach you, we've got into, we're not Tahini from Silent Alliance, but we've got some really good FCs now. We've been running fleets. I mean, IFC today on that fleet that we jumped in on. I've got video of it. Maybe I'll put it up later. And like I said, we took out 15 ships. And that was with the lag of warping in, because you know how this game can be. But anyway, the profitability is there, and that's the biggest thing. Is you just got to know what's available to you. And the Inquisitor Scouts and the Dead Spaces alone are definitely incentive to move into Null Sec. But even if you just go into Low Sec for the Inquisitors and the Scouts there, your money is going to increase. And yeah, that's really all there's to it. Low and Null are where it's at. Don't be scared and living in High Sec all your days. It can be fine to be there temporarily, but you're going to want to go into Null. And this has been Rev Deuce with Eve Echoes University. Happy to help you out, but I really want questions. If you got questions, drop them down below, and I'm going to be there to answer. I promise I will, because I love you. Kisses. Live long and prosper. Stay safe out there, Space Cowboys. And remember, shoot first.
Fancy intro music, yeah! Woohoo!